Alright. Alrighty.
I fear that I might tag out already.
That's okay. We forgives you, and we understands, and we forgives you.
Hey, good luck with the plan.
Bye.
I might listen in from my phone.
That's cool.
So good.
So, welcome to the stream, peoples, of the millions of varieties who are obviously listening to us. What we have currently is a very, 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 very sick and slightly sleepy Varic, who is editing his role in the plan so that if he drops out during the game, we can understand why he's disappeared. We also have a Reedoo who has to disappear because she's very, very busy. So what we've got at the moment is the Tuesday group, episode 17 of Blunders Bothwellians, the Wounded Witch edition. That was quite a long sentence. Currently they have a plan. They have raided the treasury and the armory just a little bit. They've done some makeovers. They've had a nice spa day. They've been interrupted by an assassin. They've discovered some things about some things, and they've got a vague plan to dress Arissa up as some sort of assassin. They're going to attempt to frame Sharpin Rot for the assassination/kidnapping of Emily. I am assuming you're going to go for the assassination because if someone's been kidnapped, people tend to go and look for them. But that was where we left it last time, and there's some decisions to be made. Also, Vertharitas has a naked flaming go-go dancer called Navinye, who's his new favourite person in the world. Currently, their plan is that, having set everything up, got Emily all... ... no comment. Got Emily all makeovered and looking different to herself. And did you do a makeover on him as well? Or did you decide not to, so he's going to very obviously leave?
Yeah, we wanted to leave before it was considered that Emily had gone missing.
Excellent. Alrighty. Noted. Not a problem. Okay, so you've done all of this, and Reedoo has made herself look like Emily. And your plan so far is to leave her behind, and she is going to pose as Emily, speaking to her mother and going, well, shopping for some wedding supplies, while you all make a break for escape. And at some point, Reedoo is going to rejoin you. And also, Varic is going to stay behind, stealthily hidden about the city, just to keep an eye on her as well. So, you guys have reconvened. It's very early in the morning. You have collected him and Emily from their bedroom. You've all had some food. Talking about Varic here, he's probably had about 5 breakfasts. And you are all in the communal common room with the fire blazing and the sort of half-naked lady who is sort of stood there listening to you all, and Vertharitas is quite near the fire as well, I'll say. Just drawn to it. You do still have your torch bracket, and you did have the hooded lantern that you considered, and you were thinking about ways to carry her as well, just so you've got that on your brain. And yes, you are all ready to start putting your plan into action, so I'll let you guys discuss.
Had we discussed, I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before, we'd talked about, I've forgotten the word for it, making it a note from Sharpin Rot to frame him.
Yes.
Forging a note.
Something about being able to kind of copy someone's signature or to do something. I'm kind of rambling. People jump in. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think someone had a spell.
Hello?
There we go.
Sorry, I had my headphones on and apparently you couldn't hear me. So, I do have a spell called Illusory Script. So I can write on parchment paper and it will last for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it will convey whatever meaning I intended in whatever writing, as long as I know the language.
Cool. So, I don't know what we need to write that would frame him.
Well, It wouldn't have to be a note that was signed specifically by him, but it could be a note that's signed by someone on behalf of him.
Yeah. So, can we write, haha, I done killed that girl, love from Sharp in Rot? Or
Hashtag lol.
As funny as funny as that would be, anyone that actually knows his signature would probably pick it up as a forgery immediately.
okay. So, it needs to be like a contract, like Timo's just said in the chat, that maybe says, "Dear assassin, please go and kill Emily," whatever her surname is.
Yep.
I'm sure we've got that written down somewhere. I've paid you lots of money, off you go. And then the assassin... oh yeah, him has still got the coin.
You could even do something like, half has been paid, the rest will be paid once I have her head.
Yeah, so like, Doodah just said, sorry, I've forgotten how to pronounce your name. Him's coin. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it. So we could do a note, and then the coin could be dropped with the note, maybe, to prove that it's legit. I don't know. Our Reedoo's now disappeared for 5 minutes.
Basically, our main goal is to make it as believable as possible.
Ooh,
Without
can we
actually,
A believable contract would be like, name agrees to kill this person in exchange for X dollars signed in the contract. The person who agrees to it and the person who is ordering the kill.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the best way to word it, really.
So if we get Reedy to do that, and then, have we ever seen Sharp in Rot's signature anywhere?
That's an issue.
I believe, if memory serves me right, that at least some of the party saw something regarding Sharp and
You
Rot
doing all right?
writing, but I don't
Need any
know
help?
if that actually involves signature.
Okay. You got everything?
Assassin came in. He talked about contracts, didn't he? That was from Sharp in Rot, because that was we then told him how bastardly Sharp in Rot was.
Yeah, but before that, we'd heard about Sharp and Rot before, and we'd also read something, I think, in the dungeon before we left.
Yeah, we definitely saw his name in something, didn't we?
Yeah, but I don't know if that was signed by him.
Yeah, I think that was just written down.
Yeah. At the very least, it could be signed on behalf of him by someone.
Yeah.
It's just who would you get to sign? Or at the very least, if we just, fudge the signature and hope to God that...
No one knows.
Yeah. I mean, it's only going to last long enough for everyone to...
Ooh! Rosie, would we know of, a seal of Sharp in Rot, or, a symbol that he uses, or something like that?
I mean, at the moment, you know that he is on the Royal Council of Lady, so he's in with the king and everybody. You haven't met anyone who has worked with him, and so far you haven't seen anything from him. The closest you've had is the assassin sent by him, supposedly, and the coin he was given.
So what did the coin mean?
I believe it was the actual contract.
It was the contract 4 coin. I don't know if he whipped it out and showed you. Did you show them the actual contract itself, or did you just...
The contract is actually the coin itself.
As in, an unspendable coin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So the coin itself being contracted, but it doesn't exactly have, you know, love from sharp and rot on it. The coin itself, however, as you know, the coin itself means an assassination contract. It doesn't say who from, but the coin itself would give the implication, and it would give a hint as to where it was from as well.
Mm-hmm.
So having that, and then like Jenny said, having a contract that says name of target, you know, by order of sharp in rot, signed by, or you know, something like that.
Signed by third.
You know where the Sharon person lives.
I mean, it could be sold by Sharon.
How about
Sharon on behalf of Sharpen?
if instead of writing a contract, we instead write a message from the assassin as a message that the job's been done to Sharpen.
Ooh.
What, and then make it look like they've dropped it, or
Yeah.
that could work. So we could have a contract saying, "Dear Mr. Rot, the job is done, the girl is dead, or I've taken the girl away to kill her."
I got this, or you'll have her tongue in the morning.
Yeah, and then make it look like it's been dropped before it was sent.
Yeah.
That could work. Coin dropped as well.
Because most contracts require proof of completion, and I somehow doubt Sharpen would exactly want the assassin rocking up on his doorstep knocking for it, so...
Sharon!
Sharon! Who the fuck is that?
The fucking dog shut the phone again!
Oh, that was high quality TV.
It was beautiful, beautiful quality TV. Sorry, say yes.
Anyway, that completely rules up myself as someone who's going to be fudging anything. So I leave that to people that are better suited.
Say that again, that's funny for me.
Just said I'll leave it to people that are better suited. As I'm not very good at lying and coming up with contracts.
Reedoo.
Yeah.
The spell of writing on a piece of paper. It's
Writing on a piece of paper. That's called using a pencil.
That's a mystical art in itself.
I'm getting to a point. If she uses the magic pencil spell, does it like magically believable, or like I don't know?
Yes, unless someone has true sight, they shouldn't be able to see anything.
So it should be believable by... So like when Mummy Darling comes in to get Emily up, she'll find this note and go, "Oh gosh, this is completely real." On the death
I think so.
Cool, that's all I need. Yes, it is.
I mean, I can also hide a message within the text, so to everyone else would appear as if it's a... actually, those are two different things. Sorry, never mind. So I can cause the writing to appear whatever message I want, written in a different hand and or language. So, yeah, as long as the actual words seem believable, the writing is not going to look like it's a 10-year-old trying to write a note from their parents.
Awesome. So, stick in part of our plan, Reedoo makes letter.
I guess.
Come on, Reedoo, I know you feel like you're doing a lot already, but...
consider again.
I like a DM hint. Thank you.
Hashtag best DM.
Hashtag she's trying to move us along to stop us planning and just get the fuck on with this.
Oh no, I enjoy listening to you planning. It's great. It gives me plenty of time to write my notes on how to foil their plan.
Damn it.
I'm currently working on a book. All the ways to make your player characters fail. I call it TPK in 10 days or less.
Awesome.
Okay, so am I right in thinking the current plan is to have Reedoo forge some sort of letter from an unknown assassin addressed to Sharpen Rot, essentially saying the job is done, and potentially leaves a coin behind as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And Reedoo, in order to do that,
Yeah.
what are you going to use?
I would like to use a level 1 spell.
Okie dokie. In which case, which spell would you like to use? And then I'll have you roll a d20 and add your spell modifier.
I would like to use Illusory Script, and I will roll a d20 in a second.
No problems.
I think you're just gonna go no.
Sorry, just give me a minute.
That's alright. I'm also double checking a couple of bits and pieces, so you have a moment or two.
I'm scribbling notes frantically.
Okay. Yeah, that's alright. It only takes a minute, so you don't need to worry about how long it takes because you're not in combat. That was just I wanted to double check that.
I love that we're about to start World War 3, just because we don't like it, dude.
Is that the best reason?
Did you see the message?
Excellent. Okay, in which case, yes. And with your 18, that works entirely. So, do you guys... I'm not going to make Reedoo do this all on her own. Do you guys want to, between you just now, have an idea of how you'd like to word this? I'm assuming it's not going to be a very long message, but if you word it, then I will write it down and keep a note of that. What exactly did you want it to say? And if you wanted a hidden message in it, I can include that for you as well.
Well, that sounds like a job for the more intelligent people in the party.
Vertharitas sits down, cross-legged, next to his naked flamey lady. Okay. So I'm going to put the letter... you don't have to write it word for word. So basically it's going to be addressed to Sharpen Rot. Now, are you planning to have this left as though deliberately left, or left as if it's dropped out of a pocket by mistake?
Dropped out of a pocket by mistake.
Yeah. The way I'm writing it, he's writing the letter to then send home. Hang on.
Okie doke, that's cool.
Where is Sharpen Rot at the moment? Is he in Travis?
As far as you know, he's in Laley.
So this letter is only explaining the missing girl, right?
How about this?
Mr. Rot, consider the girl dead and gone. I send this letter ahead of my return, so you may prepare the rest of my gold. I shall be in Laley in a few days with her insert body part as proof. Ooh.
Sounds good to me.
Like, obviously edit the words or the... Find a raven, kill it, and leave it next to the letter. Oh.
I think we need Varic to go pigeon hunting.
Could we... Oh no, anything I can do is, is all trickery, and if anyone touches it, it will disappear. What about the guard? We're going to explain the missing guard by marching him off with us, going, "Oh, off to kill those horrible werewolves." And, what's his name? Him will be like, "Yeah, I'm so sick of this place, I'm coming with you guys instead, because everyone here hates me."
Beautiful. Okay. That'll work.
It's going to be brilliant to roll his deception on that. He's not a very good actor.
Uh-oh.
Better than mine.
Maybe Arissa should have given him his lesson.
Maybe we'll get Arissa. What he just said. I quite like Reedoo's idea of having like a dead like messenger pigeon or something.
If we could acquire one.
We could he could have like a pouch or something that could have the coin and the letter inside, and just make it look like the pouch has fallen off of his belt. Perhaps.
You're making me look through my entire inventory now.
What, for a dead pigeon?
No. My inventory, not Varic's. Well...
Yeah.
Think about it, we did pick up some of those bags that had dust on them, so the question is whether we feel any of them are kind of expendable.
Oh yeah, we still didn't check the one with beans in, I think.
Beans!
You have a few things you haven't checked yet, yes.
Beans!
What? Yeah, because Arissa had like a nice fancy bag from Laley or something. Oh, Arissa had a bag from Laley.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we use a bag from Laley? Because he's meant to be from Laley.
Might need to double check it first. After all, we got a carpet that I'm going to be lugging with me.
Yes,
hey,
you have a potentially magic carpet that needs its power word to be able to use, the angel told you.
I have a pink diary, a cat umbrella. None of which is useful in the situation.
That you know so far.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, are we going to be walking out of the castle or in the city, or are we riding out?
I miss my boar. I want to ride him out.
Aw.
Hide.
Also, how are we going to get Reedoo out, as well as a Varic? Because the risk is if we leave their horses behind, the horses could get stuck in the castle.
We just take the horses with us.
Yeah,
And you guys are going on foot?
wasn't Emily going to ride out? And
Well, yeah, Emily's going to have to ride out on Reedoo's horse.
Riding out as Reedoo.
yeah, and him was going to ride out as well.
Right, so that...
We would use Varic's horse, and Emily would use Reedoo.
And then my boar's in the woods outside the gate, so
Yeah.
I'll walk out, or I'll sit on someone else's horse, and then I'll pick up the boar as we leave. And then we were gonna... did we plan where we were gonna meet them?
Well, some of us are going out with them anyway, so... It's a matter of you guys...
Reedoo, Varic, and Arissa were all gonna be in.
Well, to be honest, I don't think the rest of us are going to be getting very far out of Lely as it is anyway. Sorry, not Lely, Crownside. Let me have a poke.
And then
I reckon...
Sorry.
Well, we're going to head towards Lely anyway, so
Yeah.
I reckon we just be on the road, not very far from Crownside.
Weren't we going to walk out with them on the horses and that, and then when we got to the gates, we were going to send him and Emily off to... Shit, I've not got my map.
Port
Whatever
Arm.
the pod... Yeah, and we were going
Yes.
to carry on...
Yeah, so they're going to go on the north road and we're going to go on the east road.
Yes.
We can stop on the east road and wait for Reedoo and Varic and Arissa to catch up to us.
And we should keep ourselves kind of obvious so that if anyone does track us down, we can be like, what, we're just having a picnic?
Yeah, pretty much.
And prove that we've not got...
Well, we obviously don't have anyone with us.
Yeah, because why would we? Yeah?
Anyone that's better at lying than me gets to do the talking.
I'm not very charismatic. Unfortunately, I wish I'd put my charisma skill higher.
Arissa's probably the best for that.
Oh, frankly, I'm actually not too bad at deception.
My deception is a +2. It's not dreadful, but it's
Oh,
not great.
dear God, I'm better than that.
Yeah, my
Okay.
charisma's 0, so...
Okay, I've got deception 3, but I'm probably more likely to just tell them to go away.
You can just scare them away.
Yeah, that would be more effective. Does that sound like a bit of a plan for everyone?
Yes.
I think...
Oh.
Are we going to claim that we're just going to lay these?
Yeah, that would be more effective.
Oh, jeez.
Alright. So, then who wants to do what to begin with? You've got your letter. You have got Reedoo looking like Emily. You've got Varic, who has, I'm going to say he has stealthed off so that he will, for all intents and purposes, appear to be with you. He's going to go with you and then sneak back into the city and follow Reedoo about. Just, that's how we're going to say it.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds...
Sounds good.
because you have Swanee caught up with you from the library, potentially she will count as Reedoo to anyone who sees you leave. If anyone was very pernickety and said, well, this many people arrived, but there's one missing, technically now you have the same number.
I have disguised self, so I can make myself look exactly like Reedoo.
There you go.
It's an Emily Reedoo.
Yeah, we've already got someone covered as Reedoo.
In which case, that's fine.
I can make myself look like Emily. Whatever.
He's staying in the castle.
Oh, I tell you what you could do. You could be Varic. There you go. That's how we'll do that one. Just so that we can catch everybody up. So if Swanee now appears to be Varic, Varic has stealthed off so he can keep an eye on Reedoo. Reedoo is now Emily, and Emily is now Reedoo. That wasn't complicated at all.
Perfect.
Okay.
That just confused the living fuck out of me.
Smile and nod, honey. Smile and nod.
Wait,
Okay,
until starts
take that
to
to
fall
note.
apart.
Write it down, smile and nod.
Okay.
Here's Reedoo.
Alright.
Sorry. I'm having needle trouble.
Well, if no one objects, I think I'll lead the group that's heading out.
So you guys need to go and get your horses, because they
Yeah.
were in the castle stables, weren't they?
Yep. You're probably going to be going out on foot, but at the same time, did you want to do something about dead pigeon?
Good pigeon.
So, you've got a short bow at least, so...
Yeah, before we leave, can I go back to my bedroom window and see if I can see any pigeons flying around on the roof or surrounding area?
Of course you may. Roll me a perception, please.
Yep. That's a 9 plus. That's an 11 total. That's not great. I have animal handling. Could I whistle one down?
That's brutal.
Oh, wait, even better. DM, could I use my speak with small beasts, or small animals, or whatever it is? Could I send...
Convince the bird to sacrifice himself.
Could I send Warmin out to go and find me a pigeon, and then ask her to bring the pigeon down to my windowsill, and I'd like to talk to the pigeon, please?
And say, would you like to sacrifice yourself for our cause?
No, I'm gonna... Hang on, okay. You'll see. I have a plan.
Would you mind dying for us?
No, it's not gonna pretend to be sick.
Okay. Okay. As you look out of the window, you spot a few pigeons fluttering about. None of them are close enough to you to sort of grab or anything. As you open the window itself, you do hear a sudden noise. But you're not 100% sure where it came from. But you look about and there's no one and nothing around there. You can see some pigeons and some of them are circling ahead, and one of them seems to be flying, sort of swooping around looking for food, and it's fairly close by. You could probably call to that one.
Cool. I would like to call out in my best pigeon voice and say, "Hey buddy, I've got some bread, come down and talk to me."
Mine?
Yes.
Mine. And one pigeon speeds towards you faster than any of the other pigeons and sort of lands with a foot. It seems to be quite a chunky pigeon, but it's not as fat as the other one, so it flew faster. And it lands on the sort of window ledge, and it sort of cocks its head and looks at you. Mine.
I'm gonna take out one of my rations and sprinkle some like dry cracker stuff on the windowsill for it.
Mine.
Once it's finished feasting, I would like to say, "Good day, my fine feathered friend. Could I ask a favour of you, by any chance?"
Maybe.
I have a very important top secret mission that you can brag to all of your friends about when you're done. I would need you to come into this building and pretend to play like a damaged wing and you can't fly. And we'd like to tie a letter to your leg.
What?
Well, we're trying to do a very heroic deed, and we need a very heroic bird to help us. What we need you to do is to be discovered by one of the castle inhabitants. We need you to have the letter taken from your leg so that they can read it, and then once that is done, you are free to fly away, and I will pay you with as many beautiful crackers as is possible if you come and find us once this deed is done.
Food? Mine?
We will give you as much food as you would like. You can name what kind of food you would like, but you must come and find us once this deed is completed.
Hero? Mine?
Can I kind of reach my hands out towards the pigeon, like palms up, to see if it will jump into my hands in agreement?
Sure you can. Roll an animal handling check.
I've got super animal handling just for this one time. It's 16 plus 18. 22 total.
Okay, the pigeon hops into your hand. It's quite a heavy bird, it's quite plump. And it sort of hops down. And it sort of sits in your hands. Mine, 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 mine.
Do you have a name, friend?
Kevin.
Kevin?
Kevin.
That's a wonderful name for such a heroic creature.
Mine.
Kevin? Kevin, I'm going to take you through into the room where day. Is that okay?
Mine. Mine.
Gently carry my friend Kevin through into the communal room and pop him down on a coffee table.
Okay. He steps off your hand and sort of shuffles around his wings and stuff, looking around at the room. He sort of shuffles on his pigeon butt, like. Mine. 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 Mine.
Down some more rations of like crackers and bread and some like really nice treats for him.
Okay. He he looks at the selection and mine starts to sort of chomp. Mine. 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 And he seems quite contented to just sort of sit there perched, nom nom nomming.
Kevin, I need you to stay here for the rest of the day. Can you show me what it would look like if you had a bad wing?
Fine.
I'm gonna get one to do the same, like to show him on the table, like flap around with a pretend bad wing.
Okay. If any of you have ever trained a dog or watched a puppy, you'll know what this looks like. He sort of spreads his legs backwards and sort of falls forwards in a and then like rolls onto his back with his feet sticky in the air and sort of like splayed out as if to say, roll? Yes? This is how you're going to tickle my tummy? Mine? 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 And he sort of leans his head over and like with his wing he swooshes the pile of food into like he was sweeping it with a dustpan into a little pile next to his face, and he leans over and starts chomping on it. Still lying on his back. Mine.
Good, Kevin. That's good. I'm gonna look to the others and go, is this okay?
It'll do.
Maybe we don't tie the letter to him just in case he decides he's bored and goes away. No, we could like make it look like it was a letter tied to a pigeon. Maybe. Oh, Kevin.
Mine?
Do you have any feathers that are maybe a little bit loose and maybe they're bothering you, and I could help you out by, tidying them up a bit?
Mine? And he fluffs over onto his tummy and shows you like essentially his butt, and he's got like a few feathers that are sort of sticking out sideways on his butt.
Awesome. I would like to pluck the feathers from a pigeon's
butt.
Okay, roll me a dexterity for that, please.
Oh god, I'm gonna touch his butt. Oh, I rolled a natural 20!
Yeah!
I could take a anyone doesn't believe me.
That's
right, natural
okay.
20 for plucking a pigeon. Oh my god.
Okay. Your pinky finger winds up absolutely nowhere near the pigeon's butt, and you manage to deftly pluck like ding ding. And Kevin barely even squirms on the table. You just very quickly go ding ding, and you have 3, one quite long and 2 quite small and fluffy pigeon feathers from Kevin's butt.
Awesome. I would like to put them on the table next to the letter that has been forged. Oh my god. Everybody check out the video of Rosie right now.
Where is
Rosie,
this? Where is this video? Where is it? I knew you were videoing me, but where have you put it?
I love Dungeons and Dragons. Oh
God.
Just you. Thank you so much.
Oh my god. I look amazing.
I have never been more attracted to you than
Oh god.
I like to get into character even when there's no video on me, it's fine.
Oh my god. Just
Don't say I'm not good to you guys.
You're so cool. I can see why you're there.
Oh dear. Okay. So in the meantime, I think you're gonna have to post it on the chat on here if you can, because some
Okay.
people can't see it.
Already
okay.
tried.
Never mind. It's on the Facebook group.
also on the public page that all the fans can see as well.
Definitely.
You should see her face right now.
It's okay. I'm the DM. I signed up for this. It's fine. I'll just kill you all, and I shall have my sweet, sweet revenge. Kevin the Pigeon shall come back as the Antichrist, and you shall rule the day. Or, in the words of Kevin, you shall mine, Fiona.
Oh my god.
What you didn't realise was that he's actually a Nazi pigeon, because you never let him finish.
Oh my god, he's a stuttering pigeon.
Yep, he's a stuttering Nazi pigeon.
My,
Oh,
yeah.
dear. So, okay, you have a pigeon. You have a willing accomplice pigeon.
This is so
Thank you, Vertharitas. You have just broke the DM.
This is why I don't do it on video. You can't see how unprofessional I'm being. Oh. Okay, so
amazing.
So, all right.
How is the rest of tonight gonna beat that?
No, it's not. We'll just try our damnedest to beat that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, so you have a stuttering Nazi pigeon. You have a note of sorts. You have a plan of sorts. You have. You have yourselves. So, what is the next step in your? What would you like to do?
Well, I think we need to get rolling and get out of here so that we can get the assassination faked.
Yeah.
Where exactly do we want this letter to be found as well?
Well, I like here in Emily's quarters because maybe in her bedroom. I don't know. Depends where we're taking that she's been picked up from.
Fair enough.
Are you fighting a pigeon and losing? No, the pigeon is my friend.
As far as you know, also, Emily will be picked up by her mother in the dining hall downstairs. From what Emily was telling you last night, they meet in there usually at breakfast, and then they go off and do things for the day. They were going to go off and do a lot of like wedding things, and they were going to look for another dress because the mother was not happy with the way the other one was turning out, and various different things. And you think the word tiara was thrown around, and manicure. So Reedoo's in for a great day.
For yet another spa day, but not as good as Arissa.
No, nothing could ever be as good as a spa.
Based on that, I reckon that we let Miss Reedoo go off and do her thing. Maybe have Arissa and Varic follow at a safe, discreet distance with that letter and the pigeon feathers.
I thought, hang on, so is Arissa leaving with the group that are leaving and then going back in?
Yeah, I think that was the original plan.
Yeah, I thought
true.
she needs to be seen leaving as well.
Well then,
Alright, I think it was I leave as me, and then I
come back as
I come back as the assassin.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, from anyone on the outside, it's going to look like our entire party is leaving. And Swanee disguised as Varic. We've got Emily disguised as Reedoo, and then everybody wolves.
True.
Who looks like Emily, and we're leaving Varic, who is an invisible, sneaky elf motherfucker.
He's so stealthy you can't even hear him right now.
Apart from the occasional snore. Yeah, and he is leaving as well. Yes, thank you, Reedoo. And then we're all going to leave and disappear, and then Arissa's going to come back as the assassin and somehow get Reedoo, who looks like Emily, out.
Would it make sense for Arissa to then be carrying the letter and the feathers?
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than leaving them in the room right now. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we don't want them found before
Yeah.
the so-called assassination happens.
Maybe Arissa, do you want to carry a pigeon with you? Maybe I'll tell Kevin to hide somewhere until Arissa comes back. And then, Arissa, you can bring back some cake or something for him.
Yeah.
And
Cake!
then that will make
Everyone
him
loves cake!
the room. Yeah. And then you can pay him with some cake and then, like, tell him to pretend to be hurted.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. I will say that to Kevin in my Speak for Small Animals and tell him that he can hide now, and then Arissa's nice lady Arissa is going to come back with cake, and once she does that, then he needs to pretend to be hurt.
Cake?
Thanks, Kevin.
Cake? Mine? Mine? Cake? Mine? Mine? Mine?
Kevin, what flavour cake would you like? Fruit cake. Chocolate cake.
Mine! 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 Mine!
Cool. I will make a mental note as we're leaving the city to find some chocolate cake somewhere. Although Varic's probably got some hidden in his bag somewhere.
Varic looks suspiciously nonchalant and pushes his bag further behind his back.
Hey Varic, what you got in your bag?
Nothing. Why do you want to see in my bag? There is nothing in my bag. There is nothing in it. Just stealth things for me to help being stealthy.
Oh my god, those notes look hilarious. I'm going to offer Varic some herbs.
I misread Reedoo as potato.
Excuse me?
I love that Potato appears under Stuttering Nazi Pigeon. I'm going to offer Varic some herbs, because I've got some healing herbs from the weird witch lady, and I know that he has a soft spot for herbs.
Ooh, you do like herbs.
Ran into a farmer.
I do like herbs, to be sure, to be sure. Varic, what the fuck happened to you? He is suitably distracted by the herbs while he's talking to you. So you've got two things. You could try to convince him to do you a trade, or someone else could potentially try and steal the cake from him while he's distracted.
Arissa could probably kiss him. That would be distracting.
Oh, you do that, I'll sleight of hand him.
Awesome. Alright, so Arissa, roll me a charisma check with advantage. And Appricity, roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay.
I could use my mage hand. Oh, I'll just use my sleight of hand, it's pretty high. Hang on. Oh.
I don't even have my dice all session.
In total for sleight of hand.
Alright.
Don't know if that's enough to get cake off of Varic. I'm a bit scared that wasn't high.
Depends how distracted he is.
Oh!
Alright. With what sort of a kiss are you going for, Arissa?
Have you seen Doctor Who?
Mm-hmm.
You know Donna and the Doctor in 1920, Agatha Christie?
Mm.
And the Doctor asks for a shot, and Donna kisses him.
Okay.
Just that kind of kiss, just out of nowhere.
Alright. I am down with this. Okay, so if he was here, he could roll against it, but oh no, what a terrible, terrible, terrible shame. So,
Varic's already in love with Arissa.
this is very true. Does Arissa know this?
Probably not.
Excellent, this makes it even better. So, 1 second, just saving this.
That's what she normally does when she needs to get back up.
wake up.
I love how Varic's about to have the best moment of his life and he's not even here to play it.
Oh.
Bless him. Okay, so you guys you make some eye contact and this happens. And Arissa suddenly winks at Appricity, grabs Varic by the shoulders, pulls him in and goes, and as she pulls away, she notices that the little gnome has snuck a hand in. Now, when you put your hand into his bag, you felt nuts and seeds and a few arrowheads and something that felt like a piece of pie and a piece of bread, and you sort of pushed your way past and found a little tiny bundle of cupcakes. You managed to grab one of them. You've got a thumb that's full of icing now. You jammed your thumb halfway through it, and as you pull it out, it's got a few nuts and seeds. It's got a few like sultanas and raisins and nuts and pieces attached to it, and you also come out with some breadcrumbs in the palm of your hand as well. But you have it tucked behind your back, secretly, safely. You have a little chocolate cupcake.
Awesome. Thank you.
I feel like someone needs to send this to the chat so Varic can be updated on this. Alright, so you have some chocolate cake and a plan and a pigeon. Your plan is progressing.
Cool. I reckon we start leaving.
Alright.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, are you all going to leave? Are you leaving Reedoo where she is? Is she going to stay for now? Or is she going to go with you?
Nah, she's gonna stay.
Alright, so everybody except for Reedoo and obviously Varic, can you all please roll me a perception check as you go out into the hallway?
Well,
Oh, very nice. And that 20 for Vertharitas. Alright. I'll tell you what.
Are you doing this?
Everybody who's leaving.
Okay. I was too busy flirting.
Story of Arissa's.
Always though.
Hello.
hello.
Sorry, I just tried something. Okay, so we've got a nat 20 with Vertharitas, a 24 with Swanee, Arissa a 15, Appricity
I was a 9.
was a 9. Oh, 19 for you. Cool. Okay, Arissa, who are you mouthing your next at?
Vertharitas.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Vertharitas, how are you taking the naked flamey lady with you? You had a few different travel options you all discussed. Which one did you decide on?
Well, I've got.
Stays behind.
What was that?
I said you should choose the option that leaves her behind.
Reedoo! Ah! The bender! The ruin was sewing!
I think the one that I've gone with currently is I've strapped a torch to my shield,
Okay.
so she can jump onto that.
Alright, cool. I'll just note that then. 30 straps. Was it a lantern? A torch or a lantern?
A torch.
Torch to
Because I think
shield
Appricity still has the lantern.
for Navinia. Okay, cool.
You want to keep the nice and close.
Close and warm. Close and warm. Okay, that's cool. Just so I've got that written for you. Okay, so that's where Navinia is. Alrighty. Okay. Which one to do that? Okay, awesome. Okay, so 19, that's 2024. Okay. So Vertharitas and Swanee. You guys, well, in fact, as you all leave, you all hear a noise in the corridor, which sounds like, and you vaguely recognise that you think you've heard this sound before. It sounds a little bit like some sort of magic that's just dissipated. Vertharitas and Swanee, you recognise the sound as the sound of someone who is vanishing, either with a transport spell or with a disappearance spell. Either way, someone was in this corridor and has now vanished somewhere else.
So is that similar to the noise that I heard when I opened the window?
Yes.
I wondered what that was.
Well, someone disappeared very quickly when we came out here, so there's a good chance that everything we've discussed may or may not have been heard.
Oh, actually, Vertharitas and Swanee, because you rolled so highly, you also spotted the corner of a very dark robe that whipped out of sight just as disappeared in the middle of the corridor.
So it's someone who wears robes.
Very, very dark, long ones, and potentially a cloak, given how long it was.
Okay.
Which you did believe, potentially, you recognised.
Interesting.
What was the assassin dude that we met wearing?
Nothing when I'm done with him. Whee!
Hey! She's already moving on to the next conquest.
Is
Look out, world, Arissa's coming and her lips are ready. That sounded worse than I intended. I'm sorry. I've shamed
Which
myself.
lips?
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless, we might want to get moving.
We might want to get moving and maybe consider sending Emily and Duda off on a different way now if we've maybe been overheard.
Emily and Duda.
Yeah. Him, that's the one.
Rightio. Let's look at the map.
Exactly, that's how you'd spell it as well.
Uh-huh.
Right, where's my map? Okay, so we... Oh, crap. Oh, yeah. So we're in Crown side. Maybe we could send them off to the Greenwoods to hide with our friends, the No Wings.
Yeah, but they have to get past the werewolves to do that.
You can tell Varic's tired, can't you?
Looking at where we are.
That is what Arissa started saying, dudes. Arissa keep talking Duda.
Well, to be honest, they don't have to go to Port Arm. They can head up towards West Sea.
Yeah.
Or we could escort them all the way past Lely, and they can keep going towards the Far East.
Yeah, but I reckon we're going to get intercepted before we make it to Lely.
True.
Oh, heck.
I guess that's a problem for when we actually get outside the castle.
I love that. Let future us deal with it.
Rightio. People happy to just continue on?
Yeah. You go and pick up horses, or people go and pick up horses, and we'll start heading out.
Yep. I'll head down for the horses.
Finally.
I'm going to shuffle up to Reedoo, and into her hand. Oh, I'm on the wrong computer. I haven't got a picture. Into her hand, I'm going to press a little wooden flying bird that I've carved, and I'm going to press it into her hand and say, "This will bring you good luck." And then I'll just leave.
That's all.
Aww. Okay. Reedoo, how much longer do we have you for this evening?
Yes. I'm here for now.
Okay. Because if you potentially have to shoot off, I could do your bit first and then update what everyone else is doing so that you've got it, and in case you have to jump off, you can know that you've done your part of the story if you like.
Yes, please.
Alrighty, cool. So, everyone else sets off. You get a golden-eyed wink from Vertharitas and a cheery wave from his flamey lady.
Get this on the cheek from Arissa. And then she laughs and look at her disgusted.
And Varic sort of gives you a nod and disappears out of the window. He's going to stay nearby you, but keep out of sight so that nobody knows that he's still in the city. See, you have incentive to get out now because you need to get back at Arissa and the flamey lady. Alright, so it gets to fairly early in the morning, and you've made your way back to Emily's room, which is where you left the pigeon, correct?
Yeah, I'd asked him to hide until Arissa came back with cake, and then that was his signal to play injured.
Okay. You see that Kevin the pigeon is sat happily, and he is chomping on his food. As soon as you walk in the door, actually you and Varic walk in the door because Varic's going to go out of this window. As soon as you open the door, the pigeon pauses halfway through eating a lump of bread and like immediately flips over onto his back. Mine. Except you don't hear him say that. So the pigeon's now lying on his back with his like feet in the air.
So you just kind of hear
but he stops speaking when you enter the room. He then notices that you are not Arissa and you're not carrying cake, and he slowly sits up and starts to nom 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 away at his food again. So,
Stupid bird.
did you want to do anything in particular? Varic's going to hop out the window and sort of do a perimeter check and keep an eye on you and everything. It's getting close towards sort of 5:36 in the morning. Did you want to do anything? You know that they have breakfast at about 8 o'clock every morning. So you've got a little while until you have to be downstairs in the dining hall. So did you want to do anything in the meantime, or shall we just jump ahead to it?
Can I have a quick look through her drawers and wardrobes and things? I know I've already looked through her wardrobe. Wow.
Yeah, can do.
Just in case there's anything magical or gold or yellow.
She does have quite a nice dress that has a lot of gold drapery around the front, and it's like got an inbuilt corset, and there's lace up at the back, and it's all gold lace, and then there's some gold rufflage down the front, and then some gold streaks in the skirt if you wanted to chuck that on.
Oh yes, I like the sound of that. I put that on, and then maybe I can go wandering the halls, hoping to find the kitchen.
Okay. Alright. Varic is going to lead you very helpfully to the kitchen. And he leads you all the way down there quite quickly. You go past a few servants who don't really give you a second's glance. Some of them sort of tut, like, as they walk past you, but no one really questions where you're going, etc. It seems like you're sort of out of favour with most of the household staff, so none of them are really paying you a lot of attention, which is also good because you can tell your disguise is working and you're passing for Emily quite well.
I humph at everyone I walk past, and I put my nose very hard in the air.
Alright. This takes some of them aback. Some of the servants who have tutted at you sort of, "Milady," and they scuttle on by quite quickly. It seems that this is the first time she appears to have stood up to them in a while, which is quite nice for you. Just to see the startled looks on some of their faces is quite entertaining. You make your way down to the kitchens, and there's sort of long tables, and there's down one end you've got a lot of servants and people who are scuttling about and making food. There's fresh coffee and things. There's a table full of food. It's got fruit, it's got bread, it's got meats and things, and then there's a separate table where they seem to be plating things up and ready to be taken up on trays to the breakfast table, the breakfast hall that's just upstairs.
Okay. I go to the nearest servant and I ask them, how much longer until breakfast is ready?
Okay, at this point it'll probably be about 7:15, so she will jump at the haughty attitude you're giving her. "Oh, milady, well, it's usually another 45 minutes. We can prepare you something early if you'd like. If you want to take a seat upstairs, we can bring you something if you like. The ham isn't quite finished cooking yet, and we've got some croissants in the oven. We could bring you some bread, some cheese, some wine, some butter, some jams of all different flavours and fruits."
That's enough. It's okay. It's fine. I'll just go upstairs and wait for my mother.
"Oh, of course. We'll send up some tea and some coffee for you. Quick, get the tea and coffee going. Ladies, come on. We'll see you upstairs shortly, milady. Good morning to you."
I turn around and walk out.
Alright. Out the kitchens, you've got a spiral staircase which leads you back up to the main hallway, and then down the end you've got some quite ornate double doors which lead you into the dining hall. As Emily described, you haven't been here yet, but you had heard she described how to get there to you, and it's fairly self-explanatory. You get in, there's a few servants there setting table places and dusting down and making sure everything's clean. Again, you've got that attitude that they haven't seen in Emily, and you walk in full of confidence, and they immediately, oh, milady. And the ones who are dusting immediately take down their feather dusters and walk out of the room. And one of them pulls out a seat at the head table for you, and a few minutes later some of the kitchen staff from downstairs bring up hot tea and coffee and a few scones and things for you to nibble on before the real breakfast is started. You've got a choice. There is herbal teas, there's fruit teas, there's regular tea, there's black coffee, there's milk, there's sugar, lots of different things.
I think to myself, what would this plain human drink? I guess I'll just go for herbal tea. Sounds boring enough. So I just pour myself a cup of herbal tea.
Alright. The servants have left you to pour it for yourself. It seems that although you are being more confident this morning, they still don't quite like you enough to pour it for you. You are now left in the room by yourself. All the servants have left you. And your mother, well, her mother, should be with you in the next sort of 20-30 minutes. Did you want to do anything while you're waiting?
Well, can I just have a quick look around the room, see if there's anything interesting, anything to examine?
I think there is a few tapestries on the wall. Some of them look like they're a family tree that's been stitched, and over the years they've had extras added on, and there's names everywhere. The family tree seems to be fairly not inbred, but fairly compact. Some cousins marry cousins, that sort of thing, in the way that royal families, not quite royal, but very well-to-do next to royal families may do. You also see that Emily's brother is on there, and her parents, and they are the last in the line currently. There's no other children down that line. And give me a second. There we go. And you see as well, there's a few paintings. Again, there's one of the Marxist family. It looks as though it was from when Emily was quite a young child. She's in a sort of pretty floral dress and everything. And you also see that there are some statues around the room as well. It looks like they're of previous monarchs and heads of the family. And there's some very high windows. One of them has stained glass in. It doesn't seem to be a particular picture. It just seems to be lots of pretty colours making up sort of like a sun and potentially a sky, but it's all quite brightly coloured. Sort of reds and blues and yellows and greens. No purple, you'll notice though. No purple.
I like this place.
There's also a big wooden fire behind you. And it is lit. Just double checking that, yes. They have time. They'll have lit the fire behind you, and it's all very comfy and cosy. And yeah, you've got some food in front of you, so you've had a look around.
Thank you. Well, I guess I'll just sit down, scoff, and wait around, tapping my fingers on the table.
Alrighty, not a problem. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so within half an hour, the doors open again, and the mother, Elsa Marxis, I'll type that for you, comes in, and just behind her is a younger teenage son, who you know is Emily's brother. He's younger than her by a couple of years, and his name is Kien Marxis. And he enters just behind her. He sits down, shoots you a look that It's not unfriendly, but it's a little frosty. And the mother sits down as well. She sits in the centre of the table, and with a child either side. Servants immediately bring her some hot tea, and she says to you, "First time you've been early to breakfast in a month, Emily."
I couldn't sleep, Mother.
Don't give me all of that again. You're giving me a headache with all of this can't sleep business. Yes, yes. And she waves away a couple of the servants who brought her some breakfast. Now, because you're here, will ignore the rolls you made earlier, and I will just go with this straight away. So, can you please make me a charisma roll?
Oh no. 8.
Alright. Duly noted.
Reedoo doesn't do charisma.
Alright, no, this is ongoing. The DM shall remember this. Okay. Alright. The mother pours some tea and more breakfast is brought up. There are plates of meats and breads. There are sort of potato hashes. There's a lot of toast. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Sure.
Alright, 12. Okay. Because you know what you're looking for, and you're very aware that he is there. 1 second. Okay. Oh, alright. The mother continues to sip her tea. You keep looking around the room, taking in your surroundings, and one of the windows is slightly ajar to let some fresh air in. As all the food is brought to you, and the smell of toast and cooked meats wafts around the room, you think you catch sight of a little Varic face poking longingly at the window. As soon as you look up, it disappears, but you almost think that you can see a little drool stain left on the window. The brother is looking at you and immediately says, "What are you looking at, Emily?"
That is none of your business.
Ugh. He takes a sip of his coffee, which is black with several sugars in it, and says, "I still don't understand why you're pursuing this ridiculous attitude. You're getting to marry nobility. You're getting to do everything we could possibly want. For goodness sake, get over it, grow up, and do your damn duty, sister."
You don't know what you're talking about. You can never understand true love until you experience it.
Oh my god.
Well, if it turns me into a snivelling wretch like you, I hope I never do.
Punch him.
I stand up and grab a few bits of food that are close by, and then I walk towards the window and try to just sneakily put it on the sill, and then just like turn my back to everyone else and gaze longingly out the distance.
Okay, do me a sleight of hand check.
Oh god. Yeah, this might not work.
Okay, yes, Disney princess style, gazing from the window. Reedoo is finally living up to her heart's desire and becoming a Disney princess.
Hooray! I'm so proud!
Okay, although, thankfully, Varic is just outside and notices what you're doing. So let me just find his stats. Okay. Alright. Well, Varic manages to take the food from you. You sort of hanging on the window, very noticeably and obviously, and He immediately spots the food, leaps into action, and sort of takes it before you can even attempt to sneakily give it to him. It almost looks as if you've maybe just dropped it accidentally out the window. But you are now leaning, looking out longingly, leaning on your elbows and everything.
I like that. Can I just stay there until someone talks to me?
Yeah, not a problem. Okay, the brother will speak to you. Oh, do stop moping about, you ridiculous woman, for goodness sake. Your wedding is imminent. At least accept it now, you have to, for goodness sake. For king and country, or whatever it is you want to attach it to. The greater good. The benefit of mankind, the benefit of your country, the benefit of your family, the benefit of your, I don't know, purse strings if he's rich. Come on.
It's of you.
Well, my point of view is that you are being utterly ridiculous. Mother, I am glad I am not in your shoes to go shopping today. I could not bear to put a wedding dress on such a sallow face. I shall see you after this morning's hunt. Good day. And he is going to leave the room.
Okay, I go and sit back down at the table and just move some food around the plate.
Okay. The mother is going to say to you, you do realise that when your father returns for the wedding, you're going to have to buck your ideas up. He is not going to stand for you being quite so grumpy. Imagine walking down the aisle, turning around, and just seeing you looking like that. For goodness sake. Everything is going according to plan. I mean, we have had the delays, of course, but we are assured the husband-to-be is on his way, and when he gets here, I want you to be on your absolute best behaviour. You understand me?
Yes, everything is going according to plan, apart from my groom.
I will not sit here and listen to such ridiculousness anymore. I am thankful, however, you seem to have learned and have not brought him down to breakfast with you today. Guard or not, I do not approve of him being with you all hours, especially now. Where is he, anyway?
I don't know, I think he had some guard duty to attend to, but he should be here imminently.
Well, I am going to have a word with the guards today, and I'm going to make sure his rota changes from now on. I know your father was determined that he should stay and remain to guard you, because he is, I am loath to admit, the best of the best, but I have had enough, my girl. You have been trying my patience. While your father has been gone, you have had him here at breakfast every single morning, and I am not standing for it. I don't care that he stands in the corner and does not look at you, as I have instructed him to. I do not approve of him being with you at all times, my girl. You're going to be guarded by someone else from now on. I shall see that he is sent to the Fort William wall, and he remains there. He can watch you leave in your carriage as you go to Travis to go and live your life with your husband if he wishes, but that, my girl, is the end of the matter.
But mother, that is not fair.
It is perfectly fair, and you know why, because it is what I have said. I have said this all along to you, my child. You are hoodwinked and denying yourself the truth. The truth being that you have let some fantasy run away with your precious little head. Yes, you have known him for a long time, and we all trusted him. But this fantasy stops now. You are living up to your duty, and that is the end of it. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, fine. Would it make you happy if I just said I want to go on and try wedding dresses and then I'll go and marry this prince of yours? Just please stop going on about it.
Well, I've heard you say such things before, and it was never the last of it. But yes, we are, in fact, overdue for our appointment. We are due to be there at 9 a.m, and it is now... She looks at a little sort of clock that's on the table. Dearie me, we must make haste. And she finishes her tea, and she calls out to the little door just behind you guys, and she goes, "Maids, we are finished. We are leaving for the day. Please ensure that dinner is ready. Upon our return, we would also like some luncheon. Thank you very much." and some maid ladies appear scuttering along and say, "Oh yes, thank you, miss, thank you, yes, quite, yes, miss." And she whisks you away, and you head towards the front door and out into the city. I'm going to take a pause and jump to the other guys. So, everybody else, in the meantime, you in the sort of dead of the early morning. Now, when you were, not escaping, when you were leaving the city of Crownside, are you intending to do it as noisily as possible, as quietly as possible, or somewhere in between? Because did you decide you wanted him to be noticed leaving?
Yeah.
I'd say that I'm not exactly being subtle because I can't be subtle.
Yeah.
Clank, 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 flamey lady, clank, clank.
So I guess I'll be riding up front with him right beside me.
Okay.
Noisy sounds good.
And someone okay.
And then,
What is going on?
Okay, cool. So you're all going together, so that's fine. Apart from obviously Varic and Reedoo. So you are going to leave the castle, and you don't particularly need to roll stealth for that, basically. You can just sort of leave. And then when you get out into the city, it's going to be sort of like 6:30 in the morning, so not loads of people, but there will be guards about, there will be people starting to do the market and things. So people will be about, people will notice you're leaving. So you're going to go and collect the horses, and did you bring the cart with you, or is it just horses?
did we even have a cart?
I think you might have been offered one, but I think you might not have, you didn't take it. No. I think you just had horses, didn't you?
Yeah, we're all horses.
Sweet. Alrighty. In which case, we will also say that Swanee has brought her own horse, which you may name. And yes, your boar, Appricity, yes, is still outside in the woods. And you do have some armour for him that is in your bag currently.
Yeah, it's fucking heavy, but I'm just about managing.
So worth it. Awesome. Okay, well, cool.
I'll have strapped everything to my horse as well, so the carpet and you name it.
Awesome. Alright.
I'm gonna look kind of hopefully at maybe Vertharitas and me a ride on his horse.
Alright, so what did I miss just now?
They've all got horses, and we're going to say that you managed to acquire one as well. Big brown with a swishy tail. You can name him if you like, or you don't have to. Some of the others have named their horses. Are you also going to take Reedoo's horse with you guys, just while I'm thinking about it?
Yes.
Emily riding on Reedoo's horse.
Yeah, we've got Emily on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes, Emily is going to ride Reedoo's horse. Marvelous. I keep forgetting all this Reedoo Emily business. All right. Awesome. Okay. And then, so you've just got him left. So is he going to walk with you, or did you want to hop him on someone's horse? Seeing as Appricity is now going on Vertharitas' horse.
I believe we'll need a horse for him.
Hang on, because if Rosie's now said that Swanee has
got... true, yes.
Then he can go on Swanee's horse, and Swanee as Varic can go on Varic's horse. Huzzah! There we go. Everyone has a horse. Excellent.
Yep. And I'll happily offer to have a gnome riding on the
taking up horse. So much weight that the gnome takes up, yes. On your massive, massive Shire horse. It does have you very, very high up, though, Appricity. I will say that it is a very high horse, a very big horse, just a little bit higher off the ground than you're used to being. So just bear that in mind for your little legs. Okie doke.
The stuff that's loaded on as well. I'm going to be there.
Alrighty. Awesome sauces. Okay, so okay, so the gnome is gripping Verti's back really tight. And where do you want to put your shield with the flamey lady on it while you're riding, or did you want to hold it and sort of hold the reins with one hand?
I'll still be holding it.
All right, cool. We need to get you like a plume for your helmet so you can have a flame on it. That would be cool.
Oh, that's why I grabbed the helmet. Yeah, I might be doing some handicrafts.
Hey, I approve of this. Okay, so you head out of the city. You don't meet any particular resistance. Some people recognize you, some people don't. Some are bothered by you. Some people, as you go past, wave sort of bread and things at you, sort of the early morning bakers and things. They wave, say, fresh caught fish, bread, pies, early morning, fresh baked this morning. Would you like some? Arissa's just waving regally at everyone as they go past. Hello. Yes, hello. Yes.
Swanee should try and get some food if she's pretending to be Varic.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm taking food. I'm eating food.
Okay.
Shoving food in my face.
She's doing a fine out job of pretending to be Varic.
Yeah.
Excellent. I will say that you just throw a few coins that you have to spare, just that you've accumulated. Not a great deal of money, and you get given several pieces of food. You mentally remember how quickly Varic ate food and then realise you're probably not going to be able to do that safely, so you're just going to eat the food as safely as you can without giving yourself hiccups or indigestion.
I just go.
If you're gonna eat it really quickly, then you can do a Constitution check.
Well, as quickly as it's safe for me. How's that?
There you go. Safe is fine. All right. So
very different and safe for everyone else.
safe without spewing up over your horse. It's fine. All right. So yeah, you guys reach the gates of the city. They are opened for you. One of the guards who's there does shout down, and it's directed at him. And he says, "Oi! You fucking off then! You better not come back in here. You cause all that trouble you have, you dirty pervert, you!" And him sort of looks sideways at you, as if to say, "What do you guys want me to say to this?"
Just okay. I mean, what else would you say to something like that?
I'm gonna wave at him and be like, "Oh,
him is looking stoic, as if he's ready to ignore it. But if there's anything you wanted him to say about where he's going, he can potentially shout that now, if you want him to. If that was part, because you've already sort of talked about that vaguely. Did you want him to mention anything, or shall he just leave it?
I would, if I were him. Of course, I'm not him, but if I were him, I'd just ignore them and sort of say yeah, or wave, or just keep walking.
Can I whisper to him? I've magically made him be right next to me. Should I whisper to him? Maybe he should shout something about, "I'm sick of this place. I'm leaving before that goddamn wedding," or something like that, just to make it seem like he's leaving for good.
Okay. He sort of nods. He says, "Yep. Finally got your wish, I suppose. I can't be dealing with this. I will not miss you." And he sort of trots on out the gates with you guys. And some of the guards are laughing, and some of them are going, "Oh, well, thank fuck for that. He gave up on this ridiculous business. Party tonight in the barracks, guys! Hey!" And they seem to be sort of chatting to a load of other people and sort of spreading the word. And you do hear another big cheer from a load of people as the gates shut behind you. So now, you guys, I'm going to scroll back up. A few minutes ago, I posted a picture of Borson. I'm just going to find it again so I can reference. So, you guys have come out of Crownside, and you now have a choice. You can go east towards the capital, Laley, and you can go west towards Westsea, Port Arm. You can go north without using road. You can go straight north towards the Greenwoods, back sort of the way you came. So, what direction are you planning on going and sending people?
Well, I need to be seen leaving far enough away so that I can get changed.
Yeah, we need to find like a nice little blade for Arissa to get Nikki in.
I noticed that there isn't any mention of me getting dressed again. Appricity.
I'm gonna giggle behind my hand.
You're off to Vertharitas.
I think we're gonna head east towards Laley, but we need to decide what we're doing with him, and maybe we go and like travel east a bit and then leave the road.
Alrighty. I reckon we get far enough away from the city that we can't be seen, and then I guess Arissa can get into her assassin outfit. As for where we send off our lovely couple, I guess we could also ask where they want to go and how confident him feels like taking her in a different direction.
Did we talk to them before? Did we suggest to them that they...
Yeah, we did suggest for them to go towards the port, but the issue is that I am almost certain that our conversation was heard, which means...
Are there any other ports?
Well, there's some past Laley, but that's kind of in the wrong direction to send people.
Yeah. What? Didn't you say Westsea? Is that a port, or is that just a city?
It's a city, but it's further north that we've been talking about.
Well, maybe they could go to Westsea, hang out for a bit, and then go to Port Arm.
Yep.
Arissa, did you use any magic to do her makeover, or was it just a straight makeover?
It was just a straight makeover.
So she'll kind of be in costume until
she washes it off.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we send them off the beaten track up to Westsea where they can lay low, and then it's up to them where they go, whether they go to Port Arm or over to the east and go through one of those ports.
Rosie, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Should I send it to Kiki or Dan?
Yes, because then it'll pop up on my phone.
The only other suggestion I can offer is that we could probably even send them with a letter of our own to Stock. I'm certain there'd be some friendly people there, happy to help them vanish.
Like I said, the No-Wing, if we could send them around... Send them the No-Wings in the Greenwood. Like you said, if we send them with a letter explaining what's going on.
Obviously not signed.
Yeah. Well, we could, draw the crest on, I don't know. We could just put from your friends winged emoji.
Or just turn around and go Oni Slayers or something.
Yeah, that I love.
Something they'll recognise. But I reckon we pose it to the couple directly.
Alright, so what are you asking them?
To care for our friends and help them lay low for a while.
Well, I'll turn around to him and go, unfortunately, I think our conversation in the lounge room may have been heard, which might mean that the destination we first recommended will be heard. But there are possibly other options. It depends on, I guess, what you and Emily feel is best.
I see. And you believe our entire plan and endeavour may have been overheard then?
Some of it at least, but at the very least we have alternatives.
Yes.
And it will still take time for people to cotton on to what's going on.
That is true. Well, we were not stopped exiting the city. That is one thing. I mean, assuming someone had the entire plan, I would have run straight away to halt that. Right. In which case, perhaps we ought to, well, either head for Port Arm faster, or head somewhere else entirely.
Well, the recommendations that I could probably offer is either head to Westsea instead or Stock. At the very least, Sharp and Rot is not very popular in Stock. We can definitely vouch for that. Plus, we have some friends over there.
What is the nature of the friends you have in Stock? I would not wish to impose on anyone I do not fully understand. What acquaintances have you there?
Let's just say the town was quite happy that we managed to rid them from both some poor leadership and some great evil there. So most of the townsfolk will have us in good stead, and at the very least, there is an organisation or two that has been there that may be quite happy to help us.
We have friends in the temple that could offer you somewhere to hide and possibly some protection.
Possibly a wedding ceremony as well, if you'd like.
Yeah.
I have not even dared to imagine that. And a part of me thinks I would perhaps leave it for a while, get used to just being. But of course, yes. Of course. And he sort of shakes himself as if to suddenly think this could even be possible. Well, I mean... You're gonna what, sorry?
I'm gonna start getting a little bit emotional.
Oh, not again.
We have friends, Hire Tom and Debra, that work in one of the temples in Stock. I'm sure we could send a letter with you and explain that you are friends that need help. We don't need to tell them who you really are, just that you are a young couple that need assistance.
And they would go on your word, then, as opposed to who we were. I feel we should perhaps take on new names and identities from now onward.
That sounds like so much fun!
Arissa's like imagining adventures they're gonna have together.
I believe your bard friend is writing, how would you say, fan fiction?
It's going to be my next greatest novel!
Oh, your next... What was the last novel about?
Oh, well, it's not finished yet. Basically, it's basically a ship known as Puggerath.
Do you know of a ship? Is this a ship we should try to catch from Port Arm?
No. The ship means relationship. But speaking of actual ship, if you do go to Port Arm, there is a ship I can recommend. Take you to Am.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
That would be interesting. Do do you have contacts there? I mean, I heard Amelie is run by the gnomes. You do not... I mean, forgive me, you may just be a tall one. You do not appear gnomish.
I kind of look at the person speaking gnomish to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure what to say to that particular comment.
He looks a bit confused, but understands you're speaking another language, just is waiting to see what you say next.
And then I look back at him and go, no, I'm not a gnome. My family is from Amley. However, the ship that I speak of is what's the term? Crap. Sailed. Is helmed by gnomes, and the captain is. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong, Rosie.
Well, it's all right because you cut out halfway through saying it, so so no one will know if you said it wrong. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say it again anyway. Elapsy Vogue.
Yes, well done.
Yeah. Yes, her ship travels often between Port Armand and. So you can go there sooner. You can go there later. She does that route pretty regularly.
Oh, well, that may be of some help to us. Perhaps, I mean, if she is there regularly, perhaps we could make a quick stop there. If they are there, excellent, we can attempt to hop on board, and if not, perhaps we can get word of when they are next making port, and then we could potentially... He looks at... well, it's very interesting because you're seeing Reedoo... Reedoo has slid off the horse and is now stood with her arm around him's waist. And you've never seen Reedoo looking so lovingly or happily at anything ever. It's very weird for you guys. And he looks over to her and he says, perhaps we, if necessary, can hide out in stock and then return to the port. What do you think, my darling? And Emily's voice comes out of what, to all intents and purposes, appears to be Reedoo, just slightly... with freckles slightly off-centre, and she says, yes, of course. I just want you to be safe, my darling. I know if someone has overheard, they will be chasing you as well as I, and I just want to start afresh and anew. Right, then to Port Arm we shall go, and if there is a ship waiting for us there that we can get onto, we shall do that, and if not, we shall make our way to stock in the meantime. And I have next to nothing in this world. I have no idea what I could thank you with.
I'm certain our paths will cross again at some point.
Okay, I'm going to take out some paper and doodle something on it. I've messaged you separately to tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I give it to him and I say, this should help you with your voyage. They'll know what it means.
Alright, done. Thank you very much. He looks at it and seems to recognise what it might be, but isn't 100% sure, and folds it and carefully puts it inside his clothes and nods. I thank you. Well, we shall be on our way then, I suppose. And just at that moment, behind you guys, you hear again that noise.
Ah, crap.
I've drawn my weapon.
I love how the instant response is, crap! Okay, so behind you guys, you heard the noise. Directly in front of you were Emily and him, or Reedoo and him, and they took a slight step backwards. Him immediately put an arm in front of Emily Reedoo and pushed her backwards and has drawn his sword. And as you guys turn around, you see, having appeared out of absolute nowhere, you recognise the dark, hooded and cloaked figure who pulls down his hood as he stands there, no weapons drawn, and you recognise the biomechanical arm and the dark eyes of the would-be assassin from the previous evening.
You! You're my spa!
I just ignore that comment and I come up and say, I've heard your plan. This isn't going to work.
And what makes you say that?
The contract has been put out. As far as the guild is concerned, there is a name to be put to that list. I found out Shop and Rot has lied to the guild. It's something you do not do. But at the same time, the name for that contract is on him.
And how do we get that name removed from the list?
It's either him or Sharp and Rot. If you guys leave as it is right now, you'll be most likely dead within the week, as the guild will find you.
Your suggestion is what? We take them straight to Lely and go after Sharp and Rot instead?
I know a few safe houses or safe places, but they're only temporary. But the best thing is Sharp and Rot, if you want your friends to live.
Well, I guess we're gonna go murder someone. That sounds like fun.
I don't think the world's going to miss Sharp and Rot that much.
I did
I
find
mean, his
some
name
information
is
about him.
Rob.
He has a lot of dealings in Lely's black market.
And which surprises absolutely no one.
But that will be useful for us anyway.
Yes, it's quite known to a lot of the underground groups. You might be able to twist someone on it.
Can definitely do that.
We could make sure that an accident befalls him.
Oh, I love accidents. They're always so fun to organise.
Well,
Who's your
there's hiding
who's
and
the
then there's
person
hiding
that
in
had
plain sight.
your genius idea of writing a note from an assassin?
I did say that again. Sorry, you sound like what?
Just hold on to it. The note that you guys wrote.
Why? I thought it was an excellent plan. Kevin is back there waiting.
If you've impersonated an assassin from the guild, you will be immediately targeted.
Oh, but they won't know it's us, probably.
They will find out.
Damn it, Kevin! Don't give it away.
I don't think Kevin's going to be talking to anyone.
I hope not.
The best thing to
I'll
do
cook him carrot.
is find somewhere very quiet or remote. No towns or villages for these two.
Could you do it?
I'd rather not be too involved with him, as I'm the one that's targeted to kill him.
Then why are you helping us?
Like I said, during my investigation, I found out Sharp and Rot has lied to me and to the guild. But
What What shape have his lies taken? I understand that he sent you to kill him. What was it that he lied about?
Falsely. How he pointed it out to us. When you put a contract out, you are meant to be truthful, to the point, and then we take it as a decision if we take it on or not. This is something that is never done lightly.
So because he lied about crimes,
Yes.
the guild and your...
Basically, it was a contract taken under false pretenses.
Exactly.
So, are the guild interested in correcting this issue and perhaps working with us to target Sharpen Rot?
They won't, but I'd be willing to help. As far as they're concerned, is the contracted or the contractee or both?
Well, it might be helpful to have you with us, or at least assist us. I don't know the city well. I've always avoided it in my travels. Then, and if you know any contacts that might have dealings with Sharpen Rot, that would be useful also.
I'll be looking into that.
I'd say the black market's also a start. At the very least, I reckon we escort the lovely couple along the road our way, and then try and find somewhere where they can safely hide out for a bit.
We still need to go back into the city to get Reedoo and Varic out.
That we do.
And since
I'll leave you guys to do this, and I'll meet you in the city later tonight.
Where should we meet you?
I'll find you.
What if it's just Arissa going in?
Can you say again?
Well,
I thought it was just Arissa going back into the city, like.
Do you mean the city of Laylee?
Oh, no, sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sewing something like distracted.
All good. Well, that sounds like a plan. I reckon Arissa goes in disguise and helps the actual Reedoo and Varic get out. We don't exactly have to leave a letter behind.
Arissa, can you give Kevin the cake and set him free out the window? I'm gonna pass a little chocolate cupcake to Arissa.
I suppose. Sure.
I feel bad for Kevin. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so send Emily and him off now to somewhere, or walk further down the road with it?
I reckon we wait until the others have caught up, and then we're heading, I guess, as a group towards Laylee.
Okay, so find somewhere off the road to shelter.
Yep.
Send Arissa the assassin back to get the others.
Yep.
Free, and then
As far as
come and join
Sharpen
us.
Rot knows, is the
Sorry,
contract
again?
is still. As far as Sharpen Rot knows, the contract is still out. If they go missing, he'll assume it's me to get to him.
That works.
Well, that still works.
That works. Is there any way that we can disguise him now that he's out of the city, so that there is suspicion that he's maybe been assassinated? That's what Sharpen is gonna suspect. And then if anybody comes and finds us, they'll find someone else, not him.
I've a few disguise kits on me.
Awesome.
So I'll pull out a couple of stuff from my bag and hand it to him.
Oh, he's not going to know anything about what to do with that.
Oh, in the meantime, I reckon it's time we get people disguised up and find a safe place off the road for Arissa, Reedoo, and Varic to meet back up with us.
Yeah, and for him to get disguised. Cool. Yeah. Before we go any further, I'm gonna whistle and summon Baraz out of the woods.
Alright. As you whistle, after a little while, you hear a and a boar comes trotting up to you and sort of sniffs your palm.
Buddy, I'm gonna pick up. I got some nuts in the market. I'm gonna get my nuts out.
He gratefully sort of lets you he rubs his bristle chin sort of against your palm and he sort of chomps them from you.
I'll give his little nose a scritch.
Okay, you scritch on the end of his nose, he sort of ruffles his nose and he sort of nestles his head against you and sort of gives you a rub, sort of.
Yeah.
And his head is sort of about shoulder height for you as well, so. Okay.
Right, so I'll meet you guys later on tonight. I'll bring with some more information.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
And I just teleport away.
Alright, he, that noise again. And he's disappeared.
I'm going to turn to everybody else and go, he's kind of cool.
He is.
Yeah, he still lays out a problem though. I don't want to be dodging every other assassin under the sun.
Oh, my little buddy.
Snuffly snuffles. Oh, bless. Okay, so, you guys, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna jump back to Reedoo if she's still on in a minute, but what do you guys want to do for nows?
I reckon we leave the path, go and find somewhere kind of sheltered and hidden the road, and we can sit and chill out, get what's his name? Get him in disguise, and Arissa can get changed into her assassin costume.
I'll take out my paints and offer to paint up him's armor so that it looks very different to what it originally looked like.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Him will say, "Oh, I thank you, my friend. That's most helpful of you. Thank you." And he sort of stands there and lets you paint his stuff. And yep, Appricity, you can armor up the boar. Saddle up. Meanwhile, Reedoo, you have had a day of following around Emily's mother. You have gone into a very, very fancy boutique, and the back room has been completely given over to almost, it looks like every wedding dress under the sun. You have seen chiffon, you have seen lace, you have seen silk, you have seen every possible fabric imaginable that is vaguely fancy. You've seen them in every combination possible, and you have spent the entire day standing on a stool and going in and out of changing rooms trying on dresses. And you are now in a tiara shop, and Emily's mother is trying tiaras on you. It is nearly the end of your shopping expedition. You have had lunch, and she has told you that after your tiara shopping expedition, she is going off to meet someone to hear back on where on earth the groom-to-be has got to, because so far the transport has not arrived yet, and you will be free to go back to the castle and hang out in your room and do whatever, which is what you've been waiting for all day.
Address you.
Hello?
I was on headphones again. Have we decided on a dress yet?
Your mother has decided which one she likes the best. And it was a very large, very detailed dress. It didn't have enough diamonds and glitter all over it for your mother's taste. Now this is glitter that is made out of diamonds that have been smashed up by a diamond hammer into tiny little crystals that are painstakingly glued all over the dress. So it's being sent away to be covered in those.
Okay, I see. So we're still trying on tiaras, right?
You're currently still trying on tiaras. You've got about 5 more to go. You've got a room, there's about 20 tiaras, and your mother keeps putting them on you, making you stand there, walking all around you, seeing it from every possible... Yes, that picture, yes. Seeing it from every possible angle, and then making a comment, and then putting the next one on you. It seems that she likes the third one you tried on the best. You can offer opinions if you like, or you can stand there sulkily, whichever attitude you would choose to take.
I will sulkily offer my opinion. Mother, I thought we agreed none of these have enough diamonds on them. Surely you need something with more sparkle.
Yes, darling, that is what I have been saying, which is why so far we're going for the third option. I believe we should send it away while the dress is being done overnight, specially paid for by me, you understand? I believe we should go with this one. She picks the third one out of the box again and puts it back on your head. Yes, it sets the whole thing off nicely, but I think, and again she turns back to the ladies in the shop, we need... And she goes very quickly. A large one there, a medium one there, 6 small ones, an intricate big one, several beautiful diamonds of all different colours around the back just to give it a bit of edge. I want some draping jewels as well, and I want it absolutely dripping in sparkle. You understand me? Yes, this is a wedding of utmost importance. I want her to look and feel like a princess.
How long would this take?
Oh, it'll be done overnight. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. They'll be onto it in no time. We'll have it ready for tomorrow and the wedding in a couple of days' time. Don't you worry.
Okay, then can I have just one request, please?
And what is that, my dear?
Can it be yellow, please?
Yellow.
Yes. Well, gold, I suppose.
A gold! Now, a golden tiara I can get on board with. Yes, I will pay whatever it costs. My daughter wants it in gold. Finally, she gets involved and makes a decision. I'm glad to see you accepting your fate, my darling. It is a truly remarkable one. Yes, the entire thing in gold, and everything else just as I said. Extra diamonds, I don't care about the cost. Yes, of course, ma'am. We can have it made in gold. That's absolutely no problem. It is a considerable amount more. I do not care about the cost, madame. Only that it be done by tomorrow lunchtime. Oh, yes, of course. And we will deliver it to you unless you want to come and collect it here. No, you may deliver it to us. That will be absolutely fine. We can send you away with a gold tiara just for tonight, so you can just have a look and keep it with you. And if the young lady would like to choose from our gold tiara selection, you can have one as our show of good faith overnight, and then we will exchange it back tomorrow if you would like. Of course. And she takes the third tiara off your head, Reedoo, and they lead you over to a large cabinet with loads and loads of gold tiaras in it. Some of them are decorated in, basically there's colours of every colour you can imagine. There's some that are just diamonds, some that are crystals. There is one that has purple, blue and red crystals in it, just so you're aware of that, on one of the top shelves. And the lady says, would you like to pick one? Milady, pick anyone you like. You can have it. You can wear it to bed with you if you like, just so you can have a special gold tiara, and then we'll have your proper one ready for you tomorrow. We promise. Which one would you like? Have a browse. What would you like? So you can now pick any sort of golden tiara you would like.
Okay, I grumpily walk towards the tiaras, and I pick up the plain looking, the one that looks the most plain, that doesn't have any purple in it.
Okay, There's one that is basically, it's like a gold band with, well, they're all fairly intricate. So the most simple one would be the one, it has not a lot of diamonds on it. It's all just a gold band, and it's got like swirls and twiddles all over it. It's like lace but without flowers. There's nothing floral about it. It's just swirls and intricate designs, and it's quite pretty. And the lady says, "Oh, that one, excellent. Great choice, my lady, great choice. Allow me." And she pops it on your head, and it's very nice. It fits beautifully, and it's all gold and twiddly. Makes you look beautiful.
This one. Yes, this is the one.
And your mother looks down. "Marvellous, darling. Right, we expect to exchange this one for the proper one tomorrow, and you may wear this as much as you like until tomorrow. You understand me, Emily? You can even wear it to bed, like the lady said. I think it would look just darling on you while you sleep. What do you think?"
Yes, mother, that sounds amazing. And then when I roll into my sleep, I can poke my own eye out with it.
Well, of course. Perhaps not as you sleep. That may be a little over the top, of course, but I believe it looks absolutely divine. Right, we are off, and I shall see you, and she points to the ladies, in the morning. Yes, certainly, my lady. Thank you for your custom. Thank you so much. Yes, and yes, we will see you soon. Yes, that's quite enough. Goodbye. Good evening. Goodbye. All right, Emily, my dear, you can head on back. I am going to make my way over to make sure the planning of the wedding is going according to plan. And I'm going to find where your husband-to-be is at. Hopefully he's in the country at the very least. I shall see you later for dinner. 6:30 in the dining hall, as always. Alright, get on with you. And she walks off down the road.
Finally. How many hours has that been? It feels like it's been an entire week, not just one day.
It was literally from 9:30 in the morning with about an hour's lunch break, and you went through until it's now like 4:30.
That sounds about right. That's the kind of shopping spree my mom would make.
Also, Him's new armour looks badass for Vertharitas. I like it. Alright, so Reedoo, what did you want to do? Are you going to head on back to the castle?
Well, what was the plan that they would come back in, or they would just meet me outside? It was that they would meet me outside the wall, right?
Is that your plan, guys?
I don't know if we really decided.
Okay. Well, I can I just walk around trying to find Varic? Maybe just like take an apple out and just like throw it into the air and hope that he will appear out of nowhere.
I have some images of Varic from Death Note.
Sorry?
The apple goes into the air and something invisible grabs it.
That is pretty much what is going to happen. You sort of wind your way down a sort of quiet alley towards the castle, and you throw an apple up into the air and catch it, and the second time you throw it up, it does not come down and disappears, and you hear a hum, and Varic is sort of climbing along a wall, sort of on a rooftop, but half hanging over so he can keep an eye on you. And he sort of gives you a thumb up and a smile.
Okay, I take out another apple and then I aim towards Varic and I try to headshot him.
Alright, roll me a dexterity check.
Okay, just give me 1 second, sorry. And at the same time, I minor cantrip a message to him and say, "This is for letting me go through all that and not to help me." I roll a nat 1, never mind.
Okay. This is for letting me go through all of that, and you throw an apple, which he catches and starts chomping, and he sort of gives you a smile, and he messages back, "You're welcome." And he now genuinely believes that you enjoyed your day of shopping and tiaras.
That sounds lovely. Can I just like sign to him that I want him to come down?
Sure, yeah. He has a look around and then jumps down and walks next to you. He keeps in the shadows a little bit so that if anyone does see you, it's not suspicious to see you talking to someone.
Okay. Varic, how much longer do I have to stay in this hell? Can we please go outside now? I'm sure we can meet them somewhere along the way.
Well, we've got to have people seeing you get back to the palace, the castle, and your room, and then we can disappear. And, I mean, if we wait long enough, we can probably see Arissa pretending to be the assassin, and then we could all leave together.
Oh, I forgot how attached you are to her.
I am not attached to Arissa. She brings me food, and I like food, so I like her.
Sure.
What?
Fine.
He brings out like a pie and starts like chomping on it.
I just roll my eyes at him and start walking faster to get to the castle.
Alright. Do you want to get your food? Alright, so you guys head on up to the castle. A few people sort of shoot you some looks as you're going past, but it seems that most people in the city have heard that him has left. And so, contrary to what Emily had warned you of, nobody is throwing food at you, and you get a few dirty looks and people are sort of like muttering under their breath as you go past. But you were warned that people might be throwing things at you like they were when you first arrived in the town. And nobody does at the moment. It seems that word has spread. And you do hear a few people sort of shouting, you know, good riddance and finally doing what's right! But other than that, not a lot. And you manage to get back up to the castle, and the servants, again, sort of tottering about. Some are sort of clearing away food and sorting out bits and pieces, but you make your way back up and you get into Emily's room, and Kevin the pigeon, again, as soon as you open the door, lies flat on his back, and then notices that you are not Arissa and not carrying cake, and immediately hops up again and sort of brushes his feathers off.
Stupid bird. Again. I turn towards Varic. So, how much longer until that human gets here?
How long until the plan was for Arissa to go in?
I don't know if we got that far with the plan.
Varic is eating something and shrugs his shoulders.
Fine, then I will take a short nap, so wake me up when she gets here. Can I transfer, ideally 4 hours, so I can get my thingy, my slots back?
Yeah, sure you can. I think that when you talked about it, you talked about her being discovered potentially in the morning, giving extra time, so like a whole day and a night for them to really disappear. So potentially that was the idea. So at some point in the night time, Arissa was gonna drop in.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Okay, well then I guess I can just go to sleep and wait for to come in.
Alright, cool. So you can trance for 4 hours, that is fine.
Wait. I was meant to go to dinner. I forgot.
Yeah.
You can sleep through dinner, that's fine.
Okay.
I would never forgive you, but you can.
Oh, can I just wake up and see him very hungry and then be like, oh, shit, forgot.
Varic might prod you awake and sort of say, dinner? You promised to bring me back some food?
I'm just gonna mutter in my sleep, hungry, and then just roll over and go back.
Alright. At some point, there is a big knock on the door while you're sort of trancing, and you sort of half hear it, and it's the mother, and she peers around the door, and notices that you are asleep and leaves and doesn't bother you again. So meanwhile, the rest of you, Arissa has been kitted up to look like an assassin.
I have brown hair now.
Woo!
Her
Alright.
eyebrows look really weird in comparison to her hair.
Can we have disguised him as well, just in case anybody finds us?
Sure, yeah. He can be all disguised and looking all pretty or not. Assassins are brunettes, yes. Okay. So, Arissa is dressed up as an assassin, ready to sneak on in and do something. Reedoo is sleeping. Varic is poised for action. Kevin is ready to look asleep and half crippled. The rest of you are making plans for how on earth to get these two lovebirds out and happy and sorted and to make everything beautiful. And I think I might leave it there for this evening because that seems like a interesting stopping point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
I think that's all.
It's about 5-10 minutes earlier than I would have done, but just because it feels like quite a good pause, I'll just say that. And so we shall pick up. Now, we're not picking up next week because people are at the Bothwell. We're all very jealous and we hope you enjoy it. But I will have... Oh, hang on. There is one. There might be one next week. I will double check that and let you all know. But the people who have been at Bothwell, I know might be wanting a break. So if enough people have been and are just feeling a bit, then we might pause it for the week. But we shall see. But in the meantime, your plan is on the cusp of working. Take comfort in that.
Cusp of failure.
And everybody, shout bye-bye to the recording, and I shall wrap up with you guys offline. So, Teddy Bear, thank you for listening to our thousands and thousands of people.
Teddy Bear.
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear.